In preparation for this show, we have heard advertisements from other companies that say, the IRS owns 50% of your 401k. And, maybe you could make a stretch of the imagination there. And you said, well, if you have a lot of money in your 401k and if you cashed it all out at one time, that would be a lot of taxable income that would come to you. But even at that point, the highest federal tax bracket is 37%, and not all of your income is taxed at that rate. So I don't see where anybody's paying 50% tax on their retirement income. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just, it's hype. Let's just call it what it is. It's hype. It's a scare tactic to try to lure you in to do something about that. Well, what can you do about it? Let's kind of talk about this. When money is in some type of qualified plan, meaning a 401k plan or an IRA, there's not a whole lot of way around paying the tax that's due on that money. Now, I've heard the pitch that says, well, taxes are going to go through the roof and you ought to take all that money out of your 401k right now and pay taxes on all of it and then go put it in something, or what, and whatever the pitch is for the product. It is, again, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater when you do this. But a lot of people are getting lured into thinking they've got to do something to get ahead of the coming tax bubble.
Well, here's the deal. You are creating the very problem you're saying you're trying to avoid.
Yep.
To Troy's point, about the only way 50% of your IRA or 401k is going to be taken by the government in taxes is if you take it out in a huge lump sum, right? That's the only feasible way that's going to happen, because it's going to be layered in that case on top of your other income, which will connect you to that higher federal income tax bracket. And that's the thing you really have to pay attention to, I think, the most when you start this discussion about taxes, is to recognize that we're in a tiered federal income tax situation. Your first few dollars are taxed at a very low percentage, in fact, at 10%. Then it goes to 12%. It's only those really high incomes that are ever going to be subject to those high percentages. Now, to the point of tax rates are probably going to go up in the future. I believe that. I do think that's probably going to happen in the next 20 or 30 years, right? But it goes to what our friend Brian Westbury talks about when he talks about the national debt. When he talks about forecasting the next 6 months or 12 months of the economy, he likens it, he uses the analogy of a baseball game. And maybe you guys have heard him use this, right? He talks about, if you told me that we were going to play a baseball game, and in the first 6 innings of that game, the rules are like every baseball game that's ever been played. But beginning in the top of the 7th inning, we're going to change the rules. How would you change the way you played those first 6 innings? You wouldn't. You would play them based on the rules that you know, because you don't know how they're going to change the rules in the 7th inning. That's about the national debt. Taxes are the same way. We can make assumptions that taxes are going to go up, but we've got to plan with what we know today. Want more content like this delivered to your inbox weekly? Visit fastest4.com to learn more.